never thought I'd end up in a place like this, chasing shadows in the dead of night just to score. But that's addiction. It drags you down roads you swore you'd never take. My name's Lincoln, and that night in late October, around 11:40, I was behind the wheel of our beat-up Chevy. Tara was huddled in the passenger seat beside me, twitching the whole drive, her fingers digging into my arm like she was afraid I'd vanish if she let go. We were both hooked bad, but she wore it worse. Her eyes were always wide and scared, like the world was about to swallow her whole. The spot was an abandoned office complex on the outskirts of town, the kind of place that looked straight out of the 80s. Low-slung buildings with faded signs for dentists and accountants, peeling paint, cracked asphalt, and lots overgrown with weeds. When I was a kid, my mom dragged me to one just like it for checkups. The fluorescent lights buzzing like angry bees, the waiting room stinking like stale old carpet. Now the place was a ghost town, perfect for deals nobody wanted seen. Our guy had texted the coordinates earlier, cryptic as always. Yellow light, building 3. Don't be late. I pulled into the lot, tires crunching over broken glass and dead leaves. The air was sharp with that October chill that seeps into your bones. No moon, just a few stars fighting through a low ceiling of clouds. The complex sprawled in front of us, maybe a dozen buildings connected by walkways, all dark except for one pale yellow glow spilling from a bug light on the wall of building 3. And there he was, standing right under it, perfectly still. Tara sucked in a breath. Lincoln, I don't like this. He looks wrong. I tried to play it cool. Come on, babe. It's just a deal. We're in and we're out. She shook her head, stringy blonde hair falling in her face. No. Look at him. He's not moving. Like he's waiting for something else. I killed the engine and stared. At first he was just a silhouette, but as my eyes adjusted, the details surfaced. Long black hair, stringy and matted like it hadn't seen soap in years. A thick beard swallowing half his face, and that coat, long, trench style, flapping slightly in the breeze like a curtain over something rotten. His face was buried in shadow. No features I could make out, just stillness. Too much stillness. He wasn't supernatural. I'd seen plenty of lowlifes in my time, but there was something off. He had a predator's calm. We need this, I muttered, more to myself than her. My hands were starting to shake, that itch crawling up my spine. We'd been dry 2 days. Withdrawal was gnawing at us both. Just stay close. In and out. She whimpered, but nodded. We stepped out into the night, doors slamming too loud across the empty lot. The wind carried the scent of rot, dead leaves, and maybe something worse. Something inside those buildings. We walked toward him, gravel crunching under our shoes. Tara clung to my side, her heart racing so hard I could feel it. As we entered the yellow glow, he finally stirred. Slowly, he turned his head. No hello, no nod. Just a voice, raspy like gravel ground to dust. You Lincoln? Yeah, I said, steady as I could. This is Tara. You got what we need? He reached into his coat. For one awful second, I pictured a gun, a knife, headlines in tomorrow's paper, but he pulled a baggie instead, white powder catching the light. 200. Tara's grip on me tightened. Lincoln, just pay him. Let's go. I pulled out the cash, our last bit, scraped together from odd jobs and pawn tickets. His fingers brushed mine, cold as stone, like he'd been standing here all night. Up close, I saw it clearer. The beard was tangled with bits of dirt. The hair was greasy ropes. His face was all sharp angles, no softness, no mercy. He pocketed the cash without counting. Pleasure doing business. We turned back toward the car. For a second, relief flooded me. Easy score. Then I heard it. A chuckle. Low. Mocking. I froze. Tara whipped around. He's smiling. I looked back. He hadn't moved from the light, but now his lips were twisted into a grin. Teeth yellow, crooked. His eyes caught the glow just enough to glint like wet coal. "You think that's all," he said, voice deeper, thicker. "Night's young." My stomach nodded. "We're done here, man. Back off." He stepped forward, trench coat rippling. "No, you're not." The air seemed to thin around us. My body knew before my mind did. This wasn't a deal. This was bait. "Run," I whispered. We bolted. His boots pounded the pavement behind us, faster than I thought possible. Tara screamed, raw and shrill. I fumbled the keys, dropped them on the ground, cursed, scooped them up. The car wouldn't start. Dead. He'd tampered with it. I didn't even have to check. "Into the building," I yelled. We sprinted toward the nearest office block. The door was cracked open, hinges rusted. We shoved inside, darkness swallowing us. The air stank of mildew and dust, broken cubicles, shattered glass. Our phone flashlights barely scratched the black. Behind us, the door creaked wider. He was coming. Tara sobbed, clutching my arm. Why is he doing this? What does he want? I don't know, I hissed. Stay quiet. We ducked behind a row of desks. His footsteps entered, slow and deliberate. He wasn't rushing. He knew he had us. Come out, he rasped. I just want to talk. We moved deeper, weaving through hallways. Every corridor felt the same. Exam rooms, filing cabinets, old dentist chairs covered in dust. Childhood memories flickered. Bright lights, buzzing drills, my mom holding my hand. Now everything was rot. He slammed doors as he moved, knocked chairs over, toying with us, a cat playing with mice. We found a stairwell and bolted down into the basement. The floor was slick with puddles, pipes dripping overhead. Our phones flickered on low battery. We ducked into a narrow corridor lined with storage rooms. Each door we passed had peeling labels, records, x-ray, supplies. I risked one glance back. A faint silhouette framed in the stairwell. He was just standing there, head tilted, listening. Then his boots descended, slow, steady. He wanted us to hear him coming. We ran deeper. The hallway turned and turned again, a claustrophobic maze. At one corner, Tara tripped, nearly dragging me down with her. I yanked her up, whispering through clenched teeth. Quiet, please. He's right there. She nodded, but her breathing was jagged, desperate. We ducked into a records room, rows of rusting shelves filled with moldering folders. The stench of mildew was thick enough to taste. We crouched behind one shelf, killed our lights, and waited. His footsteps entered the hall outside, echoing. Then silence. Seconds dragged. Then a scrape. Nails on metal. Slowly, almost lovingly, he dragged his hand across the filing shelves. I could hear his breath, heavy and slow. Tara's hand trembled in mine. I squeezed it hard. Don't make a sound. He passed within feet of us, I could see the outline of his coat brushing the shelves. He stopped, sniffed the air like a hound. I held my breath until my lungs screamed. Finally, he moved on, boots fading down the hall. We slipped out the opposite way, into another stairwell. At the bottom was a tunnel, maintenance passage, wires exposed, lights flickering in and out. The claustrophobia was crushing. The tunnel felt endless, our footsteps echoing too loud. Behind us, faintly, came the scrape of boots again. "He's following," Tara whispered. "He's always following." Halfway down the tunnel, the lights sputtered and died. Darkness collapsed around us. Tara whimpered. I grabbed her hand and pulled. That's when I heard him whisper, right behind us, impossibly close. "Keep running." I almost collapsed from pure terror. But we ran. The tunnel spat us into another building. A lobby with shattered windows, moonlight slicing through. We ducked behind a reception desk. "I can't," Tara gasped, shaking uncontrollably. "You can." "We have to keep moving." We found a chained exit door. I kicked it until my foot screamed, but the chain held. From behind us, his voice came again. Nowhere to go. He was there, filling the tunnel entrance, eyes burning. "You shouldn't have come." "What do you want?" I shouted. He grinned wider. "Everything." Then he lunged. I grabbed a pipe from the floor, swung. He slammed me against the wall with inhuman strength, hand crushing my throat. His breath was decay, his eyes black pits. Tara screamed and swung a chair into him. The impact cracked across his back. He staggered, and I drove the pipe into his ribs. He roared, swinging wildly. We broke free, sprinting into another wing of offices. It was a maze. Thin partitions, endless hallways. He crashed after us, his laughter bouncing off every wall. We barricaded ourselves in a corner office, shoving a desk against the door. Silence. For a moment, I thought maybe we'd lost him. Then the scratching started, fingernails on wood, his whisper through the crack. "I can wait." We smashed a window, glass exploding into the night, and climbed out. We hit the ground running. The car was useless. The lot was endless. He followed, always a step behind, trenchcoat slicing the dark. At one point, he cornered us in a loading dock. I smashed a brick across his temple. Blood streamed down his face. He just laughed, teeth red. Tara twisted her ankle. She begged me to leave her. I couldn't. I carried her on my back, every step a death sentence. The final building was a pharmacy. Shelves toppled, bottles scattered. Nowhere else to run. I found a scalpel in a drawer, blade still sharp. When he came through the door, I didn't hesitate. I charged. We slammed to the floor, his hand crushing my neck again. I shoved the scalpel into his side. His howl shook the room. He staggered, coat blooming with blood. Tara hurled bottles, smashing them across his head. I hit him again and again until his body went slack. We didn't wait to see if he was dead. We stumbled out, found an old truck in the lot, and I hot-wired it with shaking hands. We roared off, the complex shrinking in the mirror. That night never left me. We got clean, eventually, in a dirty motel room, sweating through withdrawals and promises. But detox wasn't just shaking and vomiting. It was visions. Night after night, I saw him in the corner of the room, coat dripping blood, whispering in that gravel voice. Sometimes I woke up clawing at my throat. Tara wasn't better. She'd jolt awake screaming, swearing she heard boots in the hallway outside our door. Once she locked herself in the bathroom and cried for hours because she swore someone was breathing on the other side of the wall. Even sober, the paranoia never left. Every October, when the nights turn sharp and the leaves scrape across the pavement, it all comes back. The smell of mildew, the sound of nails on shelves, the chuckle. We don't talk about the man under the yellow light. Not to each other, not to anyone. But sometimes, when the world goes quiet, I swear I hear him. And I know he's still out there waiting,